story of newspaper for review on the sports segment of the show, including Nigeria's most influential newspaper, leadership. Let's go with leadership and see what the headline stories are about. Leadership's main headline story says amid paid regulation, British curriculum dominates private schools. Proprietors ignoring federal government guidelines, creating own curriculum. Teachers, experts demand stricter monitoring. Education Ministry gives mum. Amid failed regulation, British curriculum dominates private schools. Proprietors ignoring federal government guidelines, creating own curriculum. Teachers, experts demand stricter monitoring. Education Ministry keeps mum. We need that military to Lawa support us to liberate Zamfara. Of course, it's an ongoing story. The military reacting to the Zamfara state governor Lawa about the military's attitude to banditry activities in the state, and the military is saying support us to liberate Zamfara. Still on the cover of on Leadership Friday, minimum wage will pay what we can afford. Tinubu to Labour will pay what we can afford. Beside the masthead of Leadership Friday, cholera outbreak, 30 die, cases hit 141 in 30 states. Wike, Mr. Projects making his mark in the nation's capital. Local government autonomy, Supreme Court reserves judgment. These are leading stories on Leadership Friday, Nigeria's foremost Friday newspaper. And don't forget, Le Vogue is out this Sunday. It's an all glossy, all colorful style magazine. Just before we leave leadership, let's move to the page 3 of Leadership Friday. And today is World Blood Donor Day. And the stand is on donating blood is good. Okay. Donating blood is good on our stand today. Donating blood is good. From our stand, we move to the back page where we have conversation with Azu. That's the title of the editor-in-chief of Leadership Media Group's column. Azu Ishekwene is writing on a reckoning in June. A reckoning in June is a column of conversation with Azu from by Azu Ishekwene. Well, you would like to find out more on that continuation of headline stories and our stand today on World Blood Donor Day as you log on to www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move to The Guardian, where we have the cover of today's headline stories. World Blood Donor Day. Today is World Blood Donor Day, and The Guardian's main headline story is on risky black market booms as many shun voluntary donation. Risky black market booms as many shun voluntary donation. The main headline story today for World Blood Donor Day on the Guardian newspaper. The illustration beneath that main headline story say someone needs blood every 2 seconds. One donation can potentially save up to 3 lives. Only about 25% of the country's blood needs are collected. Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of voluntary non-remunerated blood donation in Africa, and about 90% of blood donations are sourced from paid donors. 1 pint of blood is taken during a regular blood donation. Hospitals rely heavily on family replacement blood donation due to the poor culture of voluntary blood donation. Emotional and financial distress taking a toll on blood donors. The illustrations beneath the main headline story today on the main story on The Guardian. Risky black market booms as many shun voluntary donation. Beneath that, expensive away gains, poverty, profit, performance, hobble demand for local league is a big story on pages 4 and 5 of The Guardian. Labour demand minimum wage arrears as governors employers meet Tinubu. Cost of ram soar as Muslim faithful prepare for Salah celebrations. Clark CIEM re-echo restructuring calls after Democracy Day celebrations. Cholera: Nigeria records 30 deaths, 1,206 cases. Nigeria's 289 delegates, largest at ILO conference in Geneva. Police ban Doba in Kano over emirship tussle. Pastor backs life imprisonment for sexual assault in Ekiti. Headline stories on The Guardian today, June 14, 2024. For continuation of these headline stories and inside stories, log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we move to the next paper we have on our menu, and that is Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint's main headline story is also a follow-up to what Leadership Friday has on its cover. Your comment on troops wrong. Defense headquarters tells Zamfara governor. Says we lost 9 personnel in 1 month. Soldiers neutralize terrorist kingpin. Buhari Yadi 232 others. I'll take that once again. As I said earlier, it's a developing story with the Zamfara state governor intimating that the military is not doing enough to curb banditry activities in Zamfara state. And in reaction to that, the military says the governor's comment on troops is wrong. Says they lost 9 personnel in 1 month. Soldiers neutralized terrorist kingpin. Buhari Yadi 232 others. Of course, the story you want to follow up on their website. Meanwhile, Senate passes 25 of 447 bills, 115 resolutions in 1 year. Restructuring remains way out for Nigeria, Edwin Clark. Oil sector mafia fighting us over refinery, Dangote. Ondo Guba, INEC publishes final list of candidates. PIA implementation, CJN Kyari tax judges on case adjudication. MSC tussle, FHC affirms jurisdiction to hear Bayero's suit. New #2024 Arafat sermon to be translated into 50 languages. And in business, World Bank says monetary policy tightening can't stem inflation. In sports, Guso assures Nigerians of 2026 World Cup qualification. Above the masthead of Blueprint, Supreme Court reserves judgment on local government autonomy for June 27. These are stories gracing the cover of Blueprint newspaper today, June 14, 2024. For continuation of these headline stories and inside stories, log on to the website of Blueprint, www.blueprint.ng. From Blueprint, we move to THISDAY newspaper. THISDAY has a different story altogether. It says World Bank approves $2.25 billion for Nigeria to stabilize economy. To raise non-oil revenues, supports vulnerable groups. Urges federal government to sustain correct reform momentum, expand protection to poor. Says CBN's increasing interest rates appropriate to curb inflation. Agent declares funding will help implement macro-fiscal social protection policy reforms. These are highlights or kickers to the main story. World Bank approves $2.25 billion for Nigeria to stabilize economy. Above that, Tinubu Oberewori congratulates Okonjo-Iweala at 70. President says WTO a remarkable leader, worthy ambassador of Nigeria. Felicitates Adekunle Ojora at 92. Sanwo-Olu, Lagos GDP up 50% in 5 years under my watch. The story is on page 6 of THISDAY. Sanwo-Olu, Lagos GDP up 50% in 5 years under my watch. Above the masthead of THISDAY, divestment. NNPC withdraws case halting ExxonMobil's $1.3 billion assets sale to Seplat. Kyari, oil theft, pipeline vandalism, undermining gains of PIA. Advocates creation of special court to try offenders. NNPC plans launch of 3 mini LNG facilities. With that, we conclude the review of THISDAY newspaper this Friday morning. For continuation of these headline stories and inside stories, log on to the website of This Day, www.thisdaylive.com. From This Day, we move to the last paper on our menu on this first segment of the show, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard says hardship, labor cakes as 20 states deny workers wage award. Hardship, labor cakes as 20 states deny workers wage award. Says is height of insensitivity. 16 states comply with Tinubu's plea, cease pay briefly. Stop. Workers get wage rise, palliatives in Lagos, Edo, Enugu, Osun, others. Rivers, Akwa Ibom wait for federal government's official announcement. Delta sets up committee. Main story today on Vanguard. Hardship, labor kicks as 20 states deny workers wage award. Beneath that, minimum wage will pay what we can afford, says Tinubu. Promises to send executive bill to NANS. Says fall at Eagle Square is idobale for democracy. Nice one coming from Mr. President. Fall at Eagle Square is idobale for democracy. From minimum wage, we have other stories too on that cover. Senate passed 25 legislations, 115 resolutions in 1 year, Senate leader. Local government autonomy. Supreme Court reserves judgment on federal government suits against 36 governors. And in sports, NFF moves to salvage Super Eagles World Cup chances to appoint a board for fee needing. Soulmakers Ministry marks Heart Day, June 16. Above the masthead of Vanguard, motorcycle import rises 205% to 73.59 billion naira. And in politics, Sanusi says how I want to be remembered as Emir of Kano. Emirship Telso court rule against Kano government, order challenging jurisdiction. Zamfara governor, military replies Zamfara governor, we lost 9 soldiers, 7 policemen, orders to terrorists, bandits in June. That concludes the review of front headline stories today on Vanguard newspaper, Friday, June 14, 2024. For continuation of these headline stories and inside stories on Vanguard, log on to the website www.vanguardngr.com. So with that, we conclude the first segment of this Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on Leadership Television. Don't worry, we're stay tuned for the second part of the program where we have our guest coming in to shed light on some silent issues. Stay tuned.
Please change this.
Nigeria Leadership Breakfast Show. And my name is Wendy Baba. Once again, as you can see, I have my guest, my Friday guest in the studio, Hashim Suleiman, Republic Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for your time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, happy Salah in
Happy
advance.
Friday and happy Salah.
Happy
Yes.
Salah in advance.
Just that the rams are expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how has it been?
No, the rams are expensive, and I think the ulamas are trying to tell the citizenry that it is not mandatory if you cannot afford. So it's the best, so people don't get all worked out. That
But these rams, or even cows, they are not exported. They are they are
the bread in
exactly.
Nigeria.
How come we are having
Really, I
even
mean, but it's a valid
it doesn't
question.
need livestock to feed it
It
now.
can. A
It's
lot
just
of them,
grass
the
and
people
all
that
of
read
that.
them, just release them into the bush to eat up all the shrubs and what have you. So you would
No,
actually
seriously,
wonder.
it's seriously something
You
that
wonder.
bothers my mind because these are things that are not
But I guess
exported.
maybe
Yet
economically
they're expensive.
speaking, when you look, maybe because simply that there's food inflation,
Mm.
every other thing
Thing
is just
follows.
following. You understand? Rather than
Mm.
for those other ones to stay aloof, they're just following every other thing. Like
Okay.
just moving.
All right, thank you so much. Now, I want to look at lawsuit. We are looking at developing story. Yesterday, it was in the papers. The Zamfara state government expressed disappointment over what it termed the military's lackadaisical activities, action to the activities of banditry in the state. And today, the military says your comment on truth wrong. Defense headquarters replies Zamfara governor.
Mm-hmm.
What is actually happening? Because we are not seeing security issues is not abating anytime soon. And of course, the Zamfara state government was merely expressing his frustrations
Yeah,
over
yeah, of course.
what is
You know,
happening in the state.
the fact is that in any human setting, especially maybe you say our own setting over here in Nigeria, where there is a whole lot of tendency for any human association in Nigeria to utilize any loophole or any vacuum to their own benefits, you know. But most instructively is that the governor himself will have to come to understand, okay, all of these recruits that you're seeing in that banditry, they are monsters that we made. They are monsters that we made and they're available for the banditry. So we have to go back to the root cause of the banditry itself. Because trust me, whether anybody likes it or not, including even the comments of the governor thinking that the military can solve this problem is way beyond the stick
What?
method.
Because I
You
said, what
understand what
can
I'm
be
saying? So
done?
what I'm saying is I'm not trying to say the military is in itself very okay, but I'm saying that those people or those vulnerable people in the military who wish to take advantage of any situation have actually found a perfect situation that they will latch on and then do their own business shenanigans or whatever it is, because there are different allegations out there as to the fact that, but if the military never came to meet the situation, they would not be able to, how would I say, and maybe perhaps you even say that it's even worse in the northwest, because the northeast we knew that it was more like insurgency in the northeast. Do you understand? They will come in, do what they want to do, and run away into the thin air, and you will not see them. But in the northwest now, you're having a situation where villages and towns are completely taken over.
Yes.
Those people live in there with the people, and people pay even money to go to farms.
Yes.
So
They
what
pay
I'm
them,
saying
they
is
pay
that it
tax,
is the
yeah.
society itself. It is a, how will I say, it is a cesspool. It is a long chain of a breakdown of a society that has led to the emergence of the banditry out of people's laziness and love for quick money and the rest of, and lack of education and large population that nobody is taking care of, and all of those things that the military has now found now and is leveraging on. So for me, you see this whole thing about banditry or even security issues in every region of this country, including the southeast or anywhere.
South,
It is a collective responsibility of the people of that region, the elders and everybody, to come together and say, look, hey, enough is enough. Let us be able to find the this. Let us be able to find the solution to this problem. Let us talk to this. Everybody who is partaking in this thing is either our brother or our sister. Definitely, they must be one of us. And so there is no way they will say that they cannot be able to listen. So that by the time even the military sees that you people as a region or as a people are taking it upon yourself and ready to have critical conversations and ready to tell truth to these issues, they would not have a choice than to align. But the fact is that as it is right now, it is more just like a free for all situation. No matter how much as the military is a Nigeria's public institution, as is with every other public institution in Nigeria in terms of their ability to be very, very effective and absolutely objective and proof of politically proof is that the military, for me, I will not be surprised if they're exploring that situation. And that's all, yeah.
Because it's so sad that after how many years, Nigeria is still finding it difficult to defeat insurgency and security issues, which are also contributing negatively to our economy.
So maybe that's why even the regional government may be important. Maybe important so that everybody will see.
State policing.
Yes.
Like I said, yes, state policing for every one of us is not really the best way to go. But considering the security issues. Anyway, last week it was also reported that ISWAP were openly canvassing for recruiting members, new members, into their fold.
Yes.
Openly. So
it is because they know that they are going to get the recruits.
Yobe.
Trust me. Yes, they are going to get the recruits. Majority of the young people, we're discussing with you on Wednesday about the sort of graduates that come out. Look, Nigeria's population, I in fact, I even advocate for a census at this point. Because trust me, with the sort of way I see young people graduating from tertiary institutions alone, and the economy, for example, around private schools, to show you, I'm just trying to say that Nigeria's population is way beyond that 200 million we're talking about. And majority of these young people do not have faith in the system because the government is not getting to them. So any person who gets to them first, they will follow that person. So therefore, the ISWAP and all of them, they know that the recruits are readily available for them. So they will put out the advert and they will get the people and they will come. So that's what. So when you see the level of recruitment,
what is the way forward? Because for 18 years now, 25 years of this democracy, and out of that 25 years, we just removed maybe Obasanjo's administration, which was just 8 years, and since it started from late Yaradua up to now, security issues has continued unabated.
Yes, but even during the Obasanjo, there were issues in the Niger Delta. You remember?
Yes, but those ones are not really.
But they're see, what I'm saying is that something does not start immediately. But even during his time, there were flashpoints. There was Niger Delta militancy, Asari Dokubo, all of them. Wasn't it Obasanjo that picked Asari Dokubo, if you remember? There were insurgency issues in the Niger Delta. So what I'm saying is that as a people,
Niger Delta, they were just agitations for
economic,
for
of course, economic.
Now this one that we have now.
See, at the end of the day, still, if you link everything is first of all is that there has to be availability of recruits for whatever it is, be it economic liberation or insurgency, Islamic insurgency or whatever. It is the availability of recruits. When you go to developed countries now, you won't even find a recruit. You won't even find somebody that will believe in that your ideology or anything before thinking of forming the militia now. So now what I'm saying is that all of these things are not things that you say. This study is a long-term rot and neglect that has come to this point. And it differs in degree from one place to another.
Yes.
It is interesting to see that in the Niger Delta, after critical conversations, in fact, the amnesty program today has a whole lot of people who have graduated from it and become great people in their lives today.
But it's still not free. We still have kidnappings going on.
Yeah, you still have, but at least you don't have it as certain groups coming to hold the state ransom or anything. Like maybe you might have, of course, that you have. So the thing I'm saying generally is that this problem, the solution to these problems, just like like if you look at Gumi, though very, very controversial to some people, but you see some of those things he's saying about the fact that it is an internal problem of the northern Nigeria. Do you understand? So the government has to find a way to support, or the people, or the governors, or anything will have to find a way to come and sit down and have a common front on this thing and enter and have a conversation with this people. What's the problem? What's going on? Why are you not letting us sleep? Why are you terrorizing everywhere? What's the problem? What's going on? We used to be here. We've lived here all along. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We've been
I agree
together
with
for
you.
all the years. But what has gone wrong? So that they will be because trust me, there has to be a carrot and stick
It's
method.
correct and stick
So
approach.
when I'm telling you that once the military sees that there is that unified front to face this matter, they would not have a choice than to budge. But who is ready to hold these conversations? Are people holding these conversations? Rather than the governor to be talking about how to bring all of his people together to have a conversation around it, use the immense resources they're getting now. Do you understand? To see how he can sponsor this move to have louder voice. Do you understand what I'm
But
trying to say? And louder efforts than
his predecessor actually did. Remember, he had one of the wanted kingpin bandits. They gave him a chieftaincy title there.
yeah, but no, that's not
Was
the
it
sort of thing I'm
turkey
talking
bringing?
about. I'm not
They
talking
were
about
trying
that's
to
you
like,
trying to celebrate.
oh,
I'm talking about
let's
you
have this.
coming, bringing your people. Leave the bandits on one side. First, bring your people together and have a common front. All your chiefs, all your emirs, all your ulamas, even including the people. Let them have a buy-in into what you envisage about it. Once everybody has a buy-in, look, that's all of it. Everybody's going to speak towards one front. So if it means the governor can go by himself leading in the front in one local government and march into the bush and request that, hey, come. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let us have a conversation. I mean, when this effort starts, you'll be able to see the sincerity of
But
purpose in them
another
and you
worry,
understand where they're going. But it's a local problem, trust me.
but another
The
strange
bigger
part of it is
solution
that
is
actually
locally.
these bandits or Boko Haram or ISWAP or whatever their name is, they are small in number. They are not up to even 1/3 of our
No, no,
military.
no. Do you
Of our
hear? Maybe you
military
don't hear the
are called
stories of how they come in hundreds of motorcycles.
motorcycles.
In hundreds of motorcycles carrying three, each motorcycle carrying three people.
Hmm.
So you could count about
And you wonder where
500.
they are coming from.
Recruits are available. That's what I'm telling you. We need to even do census again in this country. Trust me, the numbers. Oh, have you traveled maybe to Zuba and be traveling on that road and maybe you stop by and the Almajiris surround you? Do you see their numbers?
Mm.
Those are people growing. So like that. It's step by they have their senior brothers, they have another senior classes like that. In fact, when you see some videos, you see some children that age even carrying AK-47. So the fact is that the recruits are available. When they tell you Nigeria is 200 million, if you leave it at 200 million people, it's not a small number.
Yes.
It's not a small number. So trust me, they are so many in number. So many, and the recruits are entering every day. In fact, now I'm presuming that some young people living in all those villages and towns may even be the ones looking for an avenue to even enter.
To join.
So at the end of the day, look, it's a very, very serious problem. It requires a mindset shift. It requires a mindset in re-engineering, so that perhaps we'll be able to get out of this very, very, very ugly situation.
And the unfortunate thing is that is also impacting is what is also impacting on our food security, because the north, whether you like it or not, the north has
Of course,
in
of course,
abundance.
you can
Farmers
say that
can no
again.
longer go to
They
their
can't.
farms,
They can't. A large number
and
of
most
farmers.
of them are even paying to them to
The
be
large
allowed
number of farmers.
access
You
to be
understand? So
granted
if they
access to their
pay,
farms.
then inflation again because nobody will pay and farm and put money and then come and be selling at a loss or anything like that. So at the end of the day, these are all the resultant effects on all of these things on the
It's
society.
really, really sad.
Yes, it is.
It's really sad. Now, talking about education that you keep talking about, that's what leadership has on its cover today. Amid trade regulation, British curriculum dominates private schools. Of course, there has been incessant calls for curriculum review by, especially in our university system, by NUC, to ensure that our curriculum is revised to reflect modern times. However, in private schools, even in secondary and primary, leadership captured that British curriculum dominates private schools. You see that private schools are advertising, they have BBC, there's a name for it, all these British curriculum, and that's what they advertise. You go to all these schools, they are teaching you American history, they are teaching you French history.
It's because of
Napoleon Bonaparte.
It's still the whole
I mean, that
slave.
is not our
See,
history.
it's the whole slave mentality. I was on the social media on Twitter, and then I saw how Nigerian delegation to the International Labour Organization was almost how many people,
Geneva.
and then you could see all of them
people.
snapping pictures and flashing teeth. You understand? And I'm like, I just don't know what it is with like Nigerians and abroad.
It's always like
Nigerians love abroad. Anything about abroad, Nigerians love it. They will go take any Nigerian to abroad. He will shine his teeth to be taking all the pictures. And so these private schools that you're seeing, they're only keen to that our crave and love for anything West, Britain, America, anything that looks like it. In fact, even if you put Dubai, if you advertise Dubai curriculum in some schools, some people will go because they love Dubai so much that once they see, okay, that means if my kid goes to school here, you'll probably think like, oh, anything related. So look, it's just like also look. I used to work in the construction company, and guess what? When I used to work there, we are the professionals in those companies, but you see that the companies will go to either Lebanon or one of those Arab countries to bring in their cooks or anything from there and just keep them on the road. The idea is that Nigerians just want to see a white skin on the road. That's all. It doesn't matter if that person is an engineer or not. We are the ones who do the real work, but you see that one. So they have understood that without, in fact, if you go to governors, as a construction company, you go to governors, you want them to give you contract to build a road. If they don't see a white skin beside you, they don't even believe you are ready to come and do the work at all. So all of this kind of mindsets have to be, but then again, in these areas, what are the regulatory agencies doing?
Nothing.
How much research have we even put into formulating our own local curriculum? And these are very key things. You go and you hear that history has even scrapped from our schools. So how are the kids going to know about their environment, what they are into, what it entails, what they are supposed to do, and all of that? So you see, look, this society, trust me, we need a total re-engineering, I think.
And who is going to give us that total engineering?
Also, where we are hearing that there's going to be a bill, for regional government, we're hearing it's a rumor all around
it's
town. It's
conflicting with what is being sponsored by 35 lawmakers.
No, those 35 lawmakers are doing their own thing for one tenure of 6 years,
which is not tenable.
And what then? But there is a strong rumor in town that there will be another bill will come up. We don't know where the bill is going to come from.
Shame, that one is also conflicting because as we speak, the Supreme Court has reserved judgment for this local government autonomy. So there's no local government autonomy in a regional government.
No.
Don't forget, Afenifere yesterday flayed Tinubu. Why do I call Obasanjo? Tinubu for that he was being hypocritical.
About
that they don't need a local government. Local government has to be abolished for regional government.
No, but I think really that local government will remain.
No, they say it's not supposed to that. Tinubu was being hypocritical.
So see, look. I think we can't try to throw the baby away with the bath water. First of all, there is a current system that is being run.
Yes,
we have not yet gotten to. Afenifere is talking. Can she go and influence how the regional bill will become a law? They cannot. Trust me. You need the sagacity of a Jagaban's political mastery to be able to. So let them leave him, please. Let him pull all of these things gradually. But in the first instance, is that let us free the local governments in the interim. We can even call it maybe short term. We can say in the short term, let us free them. Then while Jagaban is now pursuing all of that, you cannot.
The Supreme Court is ruling on it this 27th of this month.
Exactly, and they must understand. They must understand, for example. And you see, this is how sometimes leaders can be misled by their tribal kinspeople.
Yes.
When they want to come simply because we do understand that the whole regional thing should come. We do understand it's going to be useful, but don't now come and even try to spoil the effort, because I think gradually even a lot of Northerners are buying the idea.
Yes, gradually.
Do you understand? But if you want to make it a tribal thing now,
Actually, the way they are really playing with it, that even the Tinubu, our president, prior to this time around, before he became, was also an advocate.
That's the point.
Was an
strong
advocate for regional government.
So everybody saying, understands
you cannot say that because you are president now, you want to.
No, he hasn't. The conversation is on. He hasn't jettisoned it. Did he? He hasn't.
Yeah, no.
Is he not the one that changed national anthem?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Is he not the one that changed national anthem? Even on his dinner on the Democracy Day, he still insisted that people should not be fixated on Nigeria as is today.
Okay.
He was even asking, "Are you the one who even named the country Nigeria that you will come and be acting like your?" So that's why I'm saying that. Please let them not even come and complicate issues for him. Rather, let them support him or just be quiet and let him do this job. I think he's doing a good job. Perhaps even a lot of the country people who should have rejected this idea are looking like they are okay with it. Do you understand? Because a whole lot of people now I see, even so many Northerners who hitherto don't like the idea of balkanization or all of these things. Today I hear a lot of them saying,
even,
look,
even the show of state police, I was surprised that he even passed second reading.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
Wow. The
so
state houses of assembly men, they
are
here. So,
but the moment you tribalize it, you will miss it.
You miss it. I agree with you.
You will miss it. Everybody will now choose to go back into their tribal shells.
Even I even watched.
So I think we should make it.
No, Zamfara government. Even his statement that he was in support.
Yes. So let's just make it a national issue, and perhaps that way it will be able to sail through more easily.
All right. Thank you so much. Now talking about national issue, Labour kicks as 20 states deny workers wage award. What is happening? These workers, we are being told that their allocation has increased as never before. Yet they don't want to give a wage award to their workers.
State issues have become a very, 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 very big problem. And I think
how can you keep state governments on their toes?
Simply, that's why you see laws of lands are what you make of them. You know, and I think, in fact, during Obasanjo's whole 8 years, no governor could raise a finger. No governor could raise. There was nothing like all this. This is who the governors want in a political party, and because this is who the governors want, he must emerge. It never happened under Obasanjo. So, trust me, unless any president is ready to stamp his feet and deal with some of these issues, they are going to remain very thorny, because it has become consistent with the character of the state to just simply come. Absolutely, that's just what it is. So they do what they like, they get away with it. If you the president is not supporting them, they will blackmail you. They would begin to act like they want to deprive you of your second term or anything like that, or deprive you of your political wishes and all of that. And so all of the presidents that have come after Obasanjo are trying to take it easy with the governors. Are simply trying to be very careful and giving them all the money they want, and giving them bailout funds,
just to make them
just to make them happy.
But this president is not doing none of that, because this local government autonomy that he took
that's a very bold one. That's a very bold one. No, but these are the ways he has to go.
When he says true, governors will no longer, they'll be brought down.
Absolutely, you can say that again, because they are not even controlling their local government elections no more.
Yes,
the local government elections are going to be contested by INEC. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to place the governors appropriately, and perhaps that's why it worked during Obasanjo. That's why no governor was extremely powerful, because then the local governments were independent. Yes, until later they changed the constitution during his time to now put the local governments together with the state and put the joint accounts. So for me, really, I think I wish that President Tinubu has actually taken the right direction in terms of trying to, at least in the interim, make the country work while the whole talk about regionalism or restructuring continues to take place. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Not
you.
just before, we are still moving on because today is World Blood Donor Day. Yeah. Unfortunately, according to the report on The Guardian, Nigeria has one of the lowest rates of voluntary, non remunerated blood donation in Africa, and about 90% of blood donations are sourced from paid donors. Of course, they're supposed to, Nigeria, we don't really have this voluntary culture.
Mm-hmm.
Some organizations in the Western world,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually be a volunteer
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
work free of charge, and they give you maybe whatever they think is better. No Nigerian wants to do it. Same goes with voluntary blood donation. You discover that most of the blood from this report, most of the blood that is being gotten in our blood bank today is from paid relatives or family. Like
Mm-hmm.
for instance, a pregnant woman,
Mm-hmm.
before she delivers in a hospital, she's required, her family members are required to come and
To
donate blood,
donate, yes,
just in
yes,
case anything goes wrong,
yes.
because that is where the blood is actually needed.
Mm-hmm.
So what can be done? This is an issue that has been on for ages, even when I was on the field covering health sector.
Yes. So really, thing is, Nigerians, we have very poor culture of health,
Yes,
of
we
checking
do.
ourselves. So people are even scared to go and test themselves of HIV or anything in their body. So, and at the end of the day, maybe because of lack of proper awareness or something, a lot of the people are every day scared to even go and donate the
Have
blood
you ever
because they are
donated blood? Let
scared.
me know.
Yeah, yeah, I have. So they're scared to go because maybe they feel at that point they're going to test them and see this or that, or all of those kind of things. So I think it has a lot to do with phobia, more kind of phobia and everything.
Awareness.
Yeah, but so that's why you need awareness. That's why you need lots and lots and lots of awareness. And that's why when you see platforms like this who take up issues like this, they're all part of awareness. People will see, people will read, and understand that there's a need that people should. But trust me again, is could you really be able to get this when everybody is busy and trying to make a living? People are busy trying to. Nigerians hardly
And I
have time to
Nigerians have
spare
enough
for
blood to
voluntary
spare.
activities. Trust me, they are every day out from morning
The
till
money has
night
to get
and
by.
trying to. So I think we'll get to all of these kind of places, but then for now, let us emancipate our people economically.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah,
This day has a main story today that World Bank approves $2.25 billion for Nigeria to stabilize the economy. Is that not another loan?
Well, perhaps, but I heard the moratorium is low, and that is a long term one, and I think there is a consensus that loans are not crimes, but only you have to know what you're using them for. If this is actually meant to stabilize the economy, this is some more forex that has come and what have you.
Okay.
I hope that it will be channeled appropriately so that at the end of the day, at least from next year, let us be able to see that the economic situation of the country is improving. I think that's just the most important thing.
All right, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank
It's
you,
on this
thank you,
note
thank
we
you.
end today's Inside Nigeria on
Thank you.
Leadership Television. So thank you so much,
Thank you,
Ashim
thank you
Slima.
for
I always look
today.
forward to having you on
Yeah,
the program.
thank you.
So viewers, this is where we end today's Inside Nigeria. I think it's wishing you a happy Salah in advance. My name is Winifred Igwebu. See you on the other side over the weekend. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.